So you want to explore DeFi, but you're not sure where to start. Well, then this video is for you, because in episode 3 of my series on crypto wallets, I'm going to share how to use Metamask to navigate the DeFi ecosystem we saw earlier. And I'm going to demo 4 areas, starting with how to swap your tokens natively within Metamask or externally on the OneInch dApp, how to use liquidity and lending protocols such as Aave, how to trade on decentralized exchanges or DEXs like dydx, and lastly, how to manage your whole investment portfolio within Metamask using their advanced new portfolio dApp tool. If that sounds interesting to you, then let's dig in.
Like I'm on my tiptoes, baby. You think a little too small. I got big goals, baby. Ain't where the money at. Look, I just need the info. Pronto, I go and get it, to split it with my kinfolk daily, and I'm the type of might change my number.
So that's the basics covered, and now we can get into the really juicy stuff in the Metamask ecosystem. So we've covered buying and selling tokens. So let's move on to the Metamask swaps aggregator. So going back to Metamask, let's do a test and convert some BUSD stablecoins into some USDC. To do that, click on this swap button here and select the coins. So let's exchange BUSD into USDC, and let's just do $10. So click on the advanced options, and it will show you the slippage tolerance. That means how close will the swap be executed to the advertised swap price. So I'm happy with 2%. So let's review the swap. And here it shows you a breakdown of the details of that swap price. So for 10 BUSD, we're going to get 9.8 USDC. And here it shows you the gas fees, which are only 0.29 cents, which you'll notice is a lot less than before, because now we're working on the Binance Smart Chain, which has lower gas fees than the Ethereum network. Below that, it also shows that there's another fee here, which is 0.875%, and that's the Metamask fee for doing the swap for you and doing the aggregation. And that's where Metamask is earning all its revenues, if you remember from earlier in part 1. Right, so assuming you're happy with those fees and the swap rate, let's go ahead and swap the coins. Click swap. So it's going ahead and processing. And there you are, transaction complete. And if you want to view the details, click on the view swap, and it will show you the blockchain explorer with a detailed breakdown of that. And there you go. It shows that we've converted that $10, and here is that fee, ended up being 23 cents. And if I now go back to my Metamask wallet, click close, and here you can see my BUSD balance has gone down from $50 to $40, and the USDC balance has gone up by just under $10. And that's it. That's the swap. So that swap's covered, and now we can start to explore the thousands of different dApps that are available for Metamask to connect to. And the first one I'm going to demo is a third-party swaps platform called OneInch. So if we go to Metamask, instead of clicking on that swaps button, which does the swap inside Metamask, let's go to the OneInch decentralized app website, OneInch. Now, the first step is to connect our Metamask wallet. So click Connect Wallet, then select Metamask, and now accept the prompts and allow it to connect. Now that's done, I'm going to swap exactly the same. So $10 of BUSD for the equivalent USDC. And down the bottom here, it allows you to choose whether you want a high or low priority for the transaction and corresponding higher or lower gas fees. So I'll stick with low. And now let's go ahead and do that $10 swap. So click swap. Check you're happy with the details here. It's got the 1% slippage, so similar. There it gives an estimate of the gas fees. And go ahead and confirm the swap. Now, accept the prompts again to sign this transaction. So it looks like gas fees around 43 cents. Confirm. And that's it. It's done. We've done the swap on that third-party decentralized app. So you can view that transaction on the Blockchain Explorer if you want. There you go. There's the gas fees, 0.29 cents. And if I go back to my MetaMask wallet now, hopefully it should have swapped it. There you go. It worked. Just make this smaller. There's the BUSD balance has gone down from $40 down to $30, and the USDC has gone up by $10. So now let's compare the costs of those two transactions. So to compare swaps internally on MetaMask versus through the dApp on OneInch externally, I've done this quick table, and on the left here, this is a screenshot of the earlier MetaMask swap. So there's the $10 of BUSD, which we got a swap rate of 9.87. The MetaMask fees incorporated into that rate, but then we do have the gas fee on top of that. So if you deduct the gas fee from the swap value, you end up with the final amount of USDC I actually got in the end, which was approximately 9.64 USDC. Now, on the OneInch transaction on the right here, this time the swap value was better, so 9.9987. And there's no MetaMask fee in this case, because we're doing it on OneInch. The gas fees were slightly higher, so 0.38, let's say. So if we deduct that gas fee from the higher swap value of 9.99, that gives us a final value of USDC of 9.62. So if we compare these two methods, it starts to get very interesting. So wake up. This is the juicy bit. Focus, and you could save yourself a lot of money. So if you look at that swap value, the OneInch transaction was actually around 12 cents better off on that swap rate. However, because the OneInch transaction happened later in the daytime, the gas fees were around 15 cents more expensive. So if you net off those two differences, the OneInch transaction actually works out around 2 cents worse off. However, don't forget, in this case, we only swapped $10 in both examples. So any sort of improvement on a swap rate on such a low value doesn't make that much difference, and it's overridden by those gas fees. However, if we increase this, let's say to a input value of $10,000, like if you were a professional investor investing large amounts, then suddenly the picture shifts dramatically. And now OneInch is giving us a better swap value to the tune of around $128. And those gas fees pretty much stay the same regardless of the transaction size. So, you know, the gas becomes irrelevant. And I actually went back and did another example. So here's a screenshot of a $10,000 swap on MetaMask. So the swap rate there was 9921.72. The fee stays the same, and the gas this time was 0.26. And here's a $10,000 swap on OneInch. And here the swap rate was 9,999. And gas fees were, let's see, around 0.41. So there you go. In that particular example, we're still $77 better off with the OneInch swap. And largely, as I predicted, the gas fees have stayed the same at 15 cents. So you end up $77 better off, which is just under 1%. And all these like 1%, 2%, they matter and they all add up. And actually, you can further reduce the gas fees on OneInch if you switch from the legacy system to the Fusion system with zero gas, which it shows here. If I switch to Fusion, it says here, Fusion mode offers fast execution without the cost of gas fees. And if you want to learn more how this works, there's a helpful guide, and it explains this Dutch auction system, how they are able to achieve that. So I'll let you read that. But it does show you that these third-party dApps like OneInch are quite powerful and can give you a lot more functionality than just doing everything natively within MetaMask, and can also save you potentially thousands of dollars if you're regularly working and investing, you know, in larger amounts. So the next type of decentralized app I want to demo is a lending protocol called Aave. So if we go back to MetaMask, let's switch from the Binance Smart Chain to the Ethereum network. And now head over to aave.com and launch the app. Once you arrive here, you need to follow the same process to connect your MetaMask to the dApp. So click to connect wallet, select browser wallet, which is MetaMask. And now here you'll see all of my funds in my MetaMask account are showing on the Aave platform. So if I just go back to MetaMask, there's $36 of Tether, and then you can see that here, $36 of Tether in Aave. And this platform, basically, you can put your coins into different lending pools and earn a yield or interest. So if you'd like to know how to use the whole of the Aave platform and all the different liquidity pools and lending yield products, check out my video popping up above for a deep dive on Aave, and I hope you find that really useful. Next, let's look at a trading DEX and how we can connect to that. So going back to MetaMask, if we head over to the DEX called dydx, which is here, and click on trade, and it will open the dydx app. Now we need to connect MetaMask again so that we can trade on here. So let's just send the requests, and it's a similar process to accept the prompts, sign the transactions, and allow dydx to connect to MetaMask. So there you go, it's done. And now this is a powerful trading platform. We can buy and sell all sorts of coins with all the professional tools that a trader would have, but without having to rely on a centralized exchange. So for example, if you go to trade, here is the Bitcoin chart, or you can choose any coin you want. If you want to learn how to use dydx, I've also got another video popping up here with a deep dive on dydx. It's a great platform. Go and check that out if you're interested. So lastly, I want to explore the new Metamask Portfolio dApp, which allows you to view all your coins across different networks with a much more advanced tool. So go back to MetaMask again. Now this time, click on this portfolio site button. Now this is actually the first time I've used it live here, so let's see what it's like. So click connect MetaMask again, and we accept all the same prompts. Allow it to connect. Well, here you go. This is the first time I've seen this, but it's certainly a much better view than being on MetaMask and clicking around all those different networks. So yeah, this looks really good. You can see all my different coins, and there's so much to explore here. Oh, here's the swaps tool. Oh, they've got another function where you can bridge coins between networks. Wow, this is actually better than I expected. So that's just yet another example of different dApps that you can explore with MetaMask, which is one of the reasons this is such a powerful tool. So I might do a follow-up video later on that, on this portfolio tool. Looks really useful. So hit subscribe if you want to see that. Definitely something I'm going to be looking at in the new year. Well, I hope you found that a useful introduction to navigating DeFi using Metamask. If you'd like to learn more, in the next episode 4, I'm going to be showing you how to buy NFTs, including a demo of buying a monkey JPEG, which is essential skill to have in life. Also, I'll be showing you how to connect to crypto games such as CryptoKitties and how to connect to the metaverse such as Sandbox. So if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you're first to see episode 4. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Introducing Metamask Swaps, now available on desktop and mobile. The easiest way to trade Ethereum tokens right from inside your Metamask wallet. Just click Swap, choose an amount of any token you own, a token to exchange it with, and get your quotes. If you like what you see, click Swap and you're done. What makes Swap so useful is what it's doing behind the scenes. It compares various DEXs, aggregators and market makers to find you the best price with the lowest network fees and the least slippage. Plus, you can swap a wider range of tokens than you could from any single service, and swaps can even automatically split your trade up among several providers to give you access to greater combined liquidity. And all that without you having to think about it, really. So, try it out. Download Metamask for desktop or mobile now and start swapping.